Good evening, everyone. This has been a very interesting evening for me, but I'm very glad that this is still getting to go on. This has become a nightly thing for me. This is actually number 20 in a row, and the thought of not being able to do this tonight really wasn't sitting well with me. Of course, normally I would say, for those of you who don't know me, but I'm pretty sure everyone here knows who I am, but my name is Trevor Patrick Watkin, soon to be Patricia, as I announced on Sunday. But for now, it's Trevor Patrick, but I have a long, and I know, Angela, you're here, and you know, Angela, I mentioned that conversation we had during my Mother's Day concert on Sunday. And I just wanted you to know that, yes, I was serious, and yes, I am going through with it, and no, it's not just I'm going to change it for Facebook, and here it is. So, just to fill you regarding and we were talking about that, and you've been talking to someone, you didn't know that you felt the way that you felt until you actually heard stuff come out of your mouth. And my attitude was like, well, my middle name is Patrick, but the reason why my middle name is Patrick is because I was named for my grandmother, whose name is Patricia, and I thought, well, then why shouldn't my middle name be Patricia? So I talked to my mom about that because I just wanted to make sure that that was literally the only reason why. I wanted to make sure that it wouldn't make her sad if I changed my name. I wasn't sure if there was any other significance to that name. But there isn't, so I have the green light and I'm going to go ahead and do it. But anyway, just to let you know about where I am right now, I'm broadcasting live from Access Contemporary Music in Chicago, where I am. This is the school where I teach. I'm the Director of Operations here, but I've also been teaching here for the last 6.5 years. ACM has 4 locations throughout Chicago, although right now, because we're doing our lessons virtually, we actually are really blessed to have a number of students who wouldn't ordinarily be able to study with. We have students that are actually calling in all the way from New York, which is really exciting. ACM is also not just a music school. We have a number of, we're actually a worldwide organization. We were founded by Seth Bosted, who's based in New York, and he is the host of Relevant Tones, which at one time was on WFMT, but is now a live stream. And Seth Bosted wanted to create an organization where we encourage individual creativity of all students. So it's not just about scales, not just about any of that, but about really creating music and learning in that way. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about tonight's show. So as I mentioned, normally I do these shows on YouTube, but for whatever reason, normally I feel like I've demonstrated that I can handle whatever sort of strange technological goofs come my way on the fly. But tonight, unfortunately, I literally was faced with an issue where I couldn't broadcast whatsoever. I won't go into the specifics, but I will say that I think I'm going to do a platform switch altogether. I take these shows very seriously, and there's a lot of work that goes into them, and it's a labor of love, but it's really heartbreaking when you spend a lot of time putting together a show, putting together a piece of music that I think you'll enjoy, and having it come to naught because of some silly technological thing. So I'm not about that life, and so I think I'm gonna do Facebook Live, at least for the time being, perhaps permanently, who knows. But I'm 100% planning on being here for the rest of the week, because I have a lot of other really cool shows planned. So I've got to think on the fly, and I've got to change what I was planning on doing. And I'm okay with that. If you're okay with that, I'm okay with that. Cool. All right. So anyway, enough of all that. It's kind of interesting because, I thought I was holding things together pretty well, but it's kind of amazing how you can go from being completely fine, or what you think is completely fine, to completely unglued in a matter of, 30 seconds. And I have a feeling a lot of you can relate to that these days. These are interesting times. But anyway, we're here now. So tonight is an unusual one. This is the first time I've done a piece for flute that is unaccompanied. And writing a piece for an unaccompanied instrument, which is to say an instrument that is just on its own, requires a level of understanding of that instrument that perhaps, well, you need to have a greater understanding of that instrument than you would have if you were just writing a straight ahead, piece where the instrument is full with a bunch of other different instruments, where you're just blending colors. But this piece in particular, Charanga is what it's called, by Michael Colquhoun. It is based on a style of salsa that has African roots as well as Cuban roots. The charanga had a flute lead, but also a string section behind it. And we say when the ensemble is cooking. In fact, the Spanish word for that is cocinando, which does mean cooking. When the ensemble is just really, really in the groove, then the flute is free to do all kinds of improvisation around it, and then the band is right there behind it. And so Michael Colquhoun, what he did is he wrote a piece in the style of what is essentially an improvisational solo. And I need to make an apology to you. I had intended to play this piece memorized, as I have done in the past. However, I won't make excuses, but I will say I have it printed out here. I will probably be reading quite a bit of the time. I just wanted to make sure that I was in the right frame of mind and I could actually see, I could actually perform this piece as it was meant to be performed. If you're here, say hello in the comments. I'm looking at you. Now at this point, I've done so many of these live shows that I can actually, function and actually do a couple things at once. But anyway, boy, and I have to say, for those of you who've tuned in before, it's kind of nice to not have to worry about whether or not my accompaniment going to sync, because there isn't one today. So that's kind of nice anyway. Anyway, I think I'm going to stop talking, and I think I'm going to go ahead and play this thing. So this is Charanga by Michael Colquhoun. Ta-da! So that is Michael Colquhoun's Charanga. And so in that piece, this is a really fun piece to play for folks because it makes use of a lot of different things like, the spit attack. And also there are times when I have to play more than one note, at the same time. And you can't just like pick whatever notes you want to play because there are special fingerings that you have to use in order to make those work. And then of course singing at the same time. It's just a thrill to play. And Mr. Colquhoun is a flute player, which does explain, at least partially, how he's able to sort of achieve these sounds, because he knows how it's meant to be done, and anyway. But it's also a great piece to give to students, too, because, well, not only is it fun to play, but you have to use all those different, what we call extended techniques. But anyway, I certainly hope that you will join me now on Facebook Live all of a sudden, but I do these every night. Like I said, tonight is number 20, and I'm really grateful, very grateful that you followed me here. And normally these concerts happened at 8, so this will be at 8 Central Time. Of course, right now it's, not, but needs must. So I'll be back here tomorrow night at 8 Central. And of course, I'll be leaving these performances up. So there's no real, necessarily needing to show up exactly on time, but it is really wonderful to have all of you here. In fact, I'm seeing, it's just so much fun to just scroll through these. Oh, it's so nice. It's so nice to see everybody here. I'm so glad you were here to see this. This is a really nice end to what was turning out to be a really just crappy night. Like I said, it's kind of amazing how close we are to just completely coming unglued. And I did for a good 20 minutes. But then I was like, Walgreens is still selling booze until 9. I'll go to Walgreens. So I did. And then on my way, I was furiously texting Bill. I was like, I'm going to do Facebook Live. So I did, and you're here. So thank you so much. I will see you again tomorrow night at 8 Central. Please stay happy, please stay healthy, and I will look forward to seeing you again for another concert tomorrow.